Network Entertainment.
Shocking, sad, revealing, and deeply researched. PH Murder Stories podcast covers the true account of infamous killings and true crime stories from the Philippines.
There's no such thing as questions, just hidden answers. Stay tuned as we revisit the inconceivable crimes that exist.
Some listeners may find the following content of PH Murder Stories highly disturbing due to its graphic nature. PH Murder Stories does not condone nor promote violence of all sorts.
Viewer discretion is advised. On March 12, 2025, the peaceful island of Boracay, known for its crystal clear waters and stunning beaches, became the setting for a chilling discovery. The body of 23-year-old Slovak tourist Michaela Mickova was found decomposing in an abandoned chapel in Barangay Balabag. Further reports have shown that the victim was also sexually assaulted and died due to blunt force trauma to the head.
Michaela Mickova had traveled to Boracay for a friend's wedding, looking forward to what should have been a joyful and memorable time. But just days before her body was discovered, she had been reported missing. Her sudden disappearance left her friends and family worried, and soon the case would capture the attention of both local authorities and the international community. As the investigation unfolded, the details surrounding her death took a dark and disturbing turn, shaking not only the island of Boracay, but also the world watching from afar.
You are listening to the PH Murder Stories podcast. This is the 8th episode of Season 5. Michaela Mickova arrived in Boracay Island on March 1, 2025 to attend the wedding of a Filipino friend and her foreign fiancé. Initially, she was to travel with her Egyptian boyfriend. However, he could not join her due to visa issues. During her stay, Michaela Mickova was reported missing on March 10 after her friends lost contact with her. 2 days later, her body was discovered in an abandoned chapel in Barangay Balabag. Since the victim's body was discovered, the police had been interviewing witnesses and everyone close to Michaela to uncover details that would help them catch her perpetrators. A person of interest named Mick was arrested during an anti-drug operation on March 14, 2 days after the victim's body was found. In his affidavit, he claimed that his friends Jello and JR sexually assaulted and murdered Michaela Mickova.
Mick detailed how the trio encountered Mickova, invited her to the abandoned chapel, and recounted the subsequent events leading to her death. According to Mick, on March 10, Mick along with Jello and JR met at a friend's house for drinks. Finding their friend absent, they proceeded to a nearby hotel where they encountered Mickova around 6:10 p.m. Jello engaged her in conversation, and the group agreed to visit the abandoned chapel together. Upon arrival, Jello led Mickova by the wrist into the chapel. Mickova did not resist but eventually freed herself. While Mick was distracted by his phone, he heard a loud thud and saw JR holding a piece of wood having struck Mickova from behind. JR delivered additional blows, rendering Mickova unconscious. The two men then carried her into the chapel and laid her on the floor. Mick observed Jello with his pants down, seemingly assaulting Mickova sexually, but was distracted by passing children and left the scene. Meanwhile, Mick's testimony supported the victim's autopsy report, which says that the cause of death was due to blunt force trauma to the head. The report also indicated that there were signs of sexual abuse, as genital findings were consistent with recent blunt force penetrating trauma. At the same time, Other physical injuries also showed that the victim had abrasions and hematomas on the face, abdomen, left arm, forearm, right arm, knee, and a hematoma on the left thigh. Following Mick's confession, authorities identified Jello and JR as primary suspects. Both individuals have prior records related to illegal drug activities. Aklan Representative Teodorico Haresco Jr. offered a 100,000 peso reward for information leading to the identification of all involved parties, emphasizing the need to restore public trust and reassure tourists of Boracay safety.
The incident has profoundly affected the Boracay community, raising concerns about tourist safety. In the aftermath of this case, local and national authorities have collaborated to implement measures to ensure the safety of visitors and maintain Boracay's reputation as a premier tourist destination. Nonetheless, the gruesome murder of Michaela Mickova is a painful reminder of how quickly life can be stolen, even in the most picturesque of places like Boracay. Thank you for listening to PH Murder Stories.
If you like this episode, give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
You can also support our show on Patreon. Any amount you donate would benefit our team to keep doing what we love, which is to provide more true crime episodes for our listeners. Link in the description.
For further updates from our show, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at PH Murder Stories. And subscribe to our YouTube channel at PH Murder Stories.
This podcast may be based on true events with names, characters, and incidents that are either products of the creator's imagination or used fictitiously. Any similarity to real individuals or events is coincidental.